My microphone on my phone is not working properly still, and no, I have not got it fixed yet. So I've just been not making any videos on my phone. So I'm popping in here live, so anybody else that wants to come join me can. And if not, that's totally okay too. I just want to share my walking thoughts from this morning. Thoughts from going out on my walk. I went for about half an hour, just out walking around my neighborhood. It's about probably 90, 93-ish degrees right now. It's pretty warm. It was too hot for me to take my dog out. He has a great big thick fur coat on right now. So I just went out by myself, which gave me some extra time to think. So yesterday, I was having a really awesome conversation with my friend. She's a huge body love advocate and a food expert, and she has views about how food and what food is and why it's important and why we judge it and why we have such a hard time with it. And we were talking yesterday about body image and food and exercise and how we have this idea that our bodies need to be manipulated and changed and fit into a certain size or a certain weight. And it was really interesting to explore that with her, because I got to come face to face with some of my beliefs about who I would be if I looked a certain way, or what that would mean to me if I did not follow the social standards of what is acceptable. I'm lucky that I live in a smaller body, so I haven't had to deal with weight stigma and things like that, but I do empathize with those that do. So, but yesterday, as we were talking, I had a little bit of an insight pop into my head, and I thought, I need to share this. So some of this is based off of my beliefs, my religious beliefs. I'm in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. We have a belief that we lived before we were born. We lived with our Heavenly Father, and there was basically a war in heaven fought over coming to earth and getting these amazing bodies. And we wanted to be here. We chose to be here. We chose into these bodies, and we're here in this experience. Just a minute, okay? We're here in this experience with these bodies right now and having a really hard time with them. And we're fighting against them, and we're seeing them as our enemy, and we're seeing them as something to be manipulated and changed and to be angry at and to blame. And we focus so much on our bodies as being not our friend. And my belief over the last, because I've been in the health and fitness world for a while now, and I've gone from the idea that I taught from my dad of, if you can pinch an inch, you better start working out. And, you better not get fat because it's your fault if you do, to this world of, what if our bodies are okay the way they are and they're part of our experience and we don't need to change or manipulate them, and they will adapt to whatever we need them to be. So it's a big shift, right? A big change. I really do believe in taking care of our bodies, but from a place of love and not manipulation. So as we were talking about this yesterday, I was like, why do we focus so much on weight? What is it about weight that is so hard for us? Because weight really is just a number on a scale. It's just a measurement. Why do we get so uptight about our weight and gaining a few pounds or losing a few pounds? Why is that such a big deal? And so we were talking about this idea of why our bodies are important, because they're part of God's plan, a huge part, one of the main parts of God's plan for why we're here. We need these bodies. Oh, that's a loud horn. Someone's got. But we need these bodies. They're here for a reason, and they're not our enemy. And that horn just totally startled me, and now I'm like, what was I going to say? I'm wondering what they're doing down the street right now. Okay, got to follow that deep thought down just a second while I recatch that deep thought. So our bodies, so the adversary has a really good reason to attack us at our bodies, right? He has a really good reason, because we're vulnerable there. And I just thought, why? Why is it our bodies? And because this is how we interact with the world. This is how we show up. And my friend, this is Beth Summers I'm talking about. She's amazing. She was just talking about how we need to stop fighting our bodies and seeing them as our enemy and seeing them as our partner in this life. We are together in this, you know what I mean? So my thought was, why wait? And then me being an energetic reader, I pick up on vibes everywhere I go. That's just how I interact in this world. My spirit is very light and free, and my body feels heavy. It feels heavy. And I was like, why is that? Why is it that thing about weight, about weighing us down, And because we focus so much on weight in the health and fitness industry, and losing weight is supposed to be some great, awesome thing, or like a feat that we do. And it was interesting that it was weight, because spiritual energy, the energy of our spirit, is really light, very light and free. And then physical energy is very heavy and hard and solid, right? And so maybe that's where the adversary can get in there and say, yeah, your body's so heavy. It is so heavy. Can you feel how heavy it is? And then when we gain weight, we're angry that our body is heavier. And so I was like, that's how I feel. Now you guys can lean into that and see if that's true for you. But my spirit wants to be free, and sometimes I just get mad that my body just like weighs me down, and I can't go do whatever I want to do. I can't fly. I can't just be free because my body weighs me down. And then just going into that idea of our body is not the enemy. Our body is our partner. Our body is our friend. It is actually the greatest gift that we have. It's our home. And it is a big part of who we are. This whole idea of you're not your body, yeah, it is not your identity, but it's a huge part of who you are. And I really do believe in that our bodies are perfect for us in our experience. I've been one that's really been focused on health throughout my life. In fact, I studied health and fitness, and I've just been like a researcher for so many years about and I got way into orthorexia for a while, which is like an over focus on health and making sure that everything that I eat is healthy, or else it's bad. You know what I mean? So like eating a Cheeto means I'm gonna die of cancer. So I went through that for a while. I'm working my way out of that phase and realizing that, first of all bodies are good. It doesn't matter if you're sick, if you're well, if you're injured, if you're perfectly strong. All bodies are good. They are for us to experience this life, and the things that happen to our bodies are part of our experience. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And just being able to be a friend to our body and not an enemy. I love the idea of being partnered with our body as a friend, as we're in this together. This experience, we're in this together. And how can we partner more with our bodies instead of fighting against them? The other comment that she had made yesterday that I wanted to bring up was that the more we focus on trying to change and fight and go against our body, the less power and the less attention we spend on our mission in the world. And I really think that's the adversary's goal. He's like, if we can just get them obsessed with changing their bodies, then my job's done. Then they'll spend their whole life manipulating their bodies and not worrying about their life mission and why they're really here, to love and to serve. How powerful is that? All we have to do is make our body our friend and stop treating it like it's something to be changed and manipulated. And we shift our focus from this internal needing to be fixed and not worthy and not effective and not enough. And we shift that into, I can be enough where I am in this body that I have right now, whatever's happening with it, and shifting your focus to be able to do what it is that you're here to do. So there are my deep thoughts for this morning. Remember that when we talk about weight, it's just because we're dealing with an energy that's heavier than our spirits are used to. And the other cool part about that, I'm gonna flip this around. Physical energy is powerful, powerful, powerful stuff. I teach about how we can change the physical, not change, but change how we see, I guess, and we can move the physical body and physical things in our life to be able to affect the spiritual part of our lives as well, because it's kind of like when you move a mountain, it's like a huge feat, right? Well, our physical bodies are made of the same stuff. So when we can stretch and move and honor and exercise and strengthen the physical, it also helps to strengthen and stretch and move the spiritual. So we have so much power there. So instead of looking at it as a manipulation of the physical, think of it as when I strengthen my body, I will experience strength in my life and in my spiritual life. And it's just really cool to me. And if we can turn the idea that our body's against us into that our body is our friend, our teacher, our partner. And just really sit with that idea today. My body is my partner in this life. How does that change how you look at food and exercise and even where you live? And I don't know, there's so much that's involved in how we view our bodies. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this idea of partnering with your body and letting go of the idea that we need to manipulate it in any way. I know that it might be a shift for some of you guys to think about this, and some of you guys are going to be like, nope, that's not true for me. And you know what? That's okay, because I've been there too. So no judgment. I love you guys all where you are, and I just hope that you can find a way to find joy in moving your bodies, because that's why we have them. We have our bodies to experience life, and part of that's movement. So I love you all. I'll talk to you later.